Alright, as you can see here, the dragsters are sanded. They're not ready to paint, but they're sanded. So what we need to do, since they're very soft, is we need to what we do call sand sealer. Now, as I said in the previous video, I prefer using a lacquer-based sand sealer like this. Also, I like to use, let me grab this, I like to use wood hardener from Minwax. Actually, it works really well. Now, what we're going to do is you're going to go ahead and we're going to open up this can here, and we're going to go ahead and get these cars good and sand sealed and also hardened so we can see what they look like. So let me get my screwdriver open here and we'll get started on this. Okay. Now, I use a foam brush, and I went and got me some little wooden blocks I can use as standoffs. The standoffs keep the car from sticking to the table. So I'll go ahead and kind of get these guys kind of lined up here. I don't know if this is going to work. It might. I'll do two of these like that. Okay. Now, I'm going to get started on this, and I'll move these here out of the way. And we'll get two blocks here ready to go. We can put those on there. Okay. Now, what's also critical is that we do not get any of the material down inside the CO2 cartridge. So what I'm going to do is, this one actually needs a little more touch-up sanding. I'm going to sand it real quick here. Get this ready. Okay. I'll go ahead and put this in here, so that way none of the sand sealer gets inside of it. Okay. And then I'll start pulling it on here. I usually put it on pretty liberal, so that with a lot of it, so that it coats all the surfaces that I need. And that's why I went ahead and put this little piece of old MDF or newspaper, whatever you want to use, underneath it. So I'm going to use this foam brush to really soak this in as best I can. Now, there's going to be anomalies and imperfections that's going to be in the car, as you see right now, but over time we're going to fix that, and we're going to fix it by using the primer and also using a glazing putty to fill that. Obviously, you see we sanded off this edge here, so we'll have to go back and correct our drawing on that. So we'll get this all good and saturated on here, and make sure we get a lot of that sand sealer and hardener down inside the wheel openings, or the axle openings, I'm sorry. Reason is we're going to put a bearing seat and a bushing seat in there, mainly a bushing seat for these cars. Doesn't matter if your name or whatever you use to write on your name gets a little blurry, because we're going to paint over this anyway. And as you can see, I'm putting all this on, making sure I'm trying to get all the surfaces on here to get this car as strengthened up and hardened as I can. Okay? Try to take any runs out, so that way I don't have to do a lot of excess sanding on that. And get those off here. Now, since it's a lacquer-based sand sealer, I'll take this back and I'll put it outside, or I'll put it in my vent area and let it vent off the fumes from the lacquer, because it is pretty strong. The smell is. Okay, so we got this car. Make sure you get the tip of the car really good, because again, if this car is a championship type car, it's going to run a minimum of 8 races and a maximum of 9 races based on the knockout bracket inside of TSA. So this is going to be hitting the towel at the end of the racetrack, going about 55 to 60 miles an hour, typically in around a second or under a second. So it's going to take quite a bit of beating on the front of the car. That's okay. We'll make it stronger. Alright, so this one's good. And now what I'm going to do is go ahead and do the rest of them. And I'll take this CO2 cartridge out. This here that I use is to hold it. And probably want to get some paper towels around here. And we'll go ahead and we'll start on the next one. Okay?